to the recreation ground. What drama we have had tonight in the Setanta Shield final. Gary Hill's Rushden and Diamonds trailing 3-1 in extra time. They pulled it back to 3-3 with literally the last kick of the game. 2 hours of football couldn't separate them. Remember, we've had 2 penalties already in extra time. Now we're going to have a penalty shootout to decide who is going to win the Setanta Shield final. Gary Hill is staying with his players out there in the centre circle. And we're just waiting to see who's going first. And Gary Hill is getting called back out of the centre circle. He has to watch the penalties from the dugout. An incredible drama we've had this evening. Aldershot, remember, got here on penalties. And it is going to be Rushden and Andy Gooding to take the first penalty against Mikel Jaimez, who's already saved one tonight from Andy Burgess in extra time. The teenager who arrived from Coventry in January with the first penalty of this shootout. This to give Rushden the lead. The huge draw tells you it's advantage Aldershot already.
Well, just looking what Jaimez was doing, he's actually come out, he's kicked the ball to him, Andy Gooding. Jaimez has put it on the spot, he's adjusted it, Gooding, but in the end I think it's taken so long. The walk was a slow walk, and I think he just had too long to think about it in the end, and that's mostly one of the reasons why he drove it wide.
Here comes the man who scored Aldershot's third in extra time and then conceded a penalty from which Andy Burgess scored. What an evening Scott Donnelly has had. He scored in the shootout in the semi-final against Woking at that end. Can he do the same here in the final? Just! Roberts got a hand to it. Aldershot lead in the shootout by a goal to nil.
Yeah, he got a hand to it, just wasn't a strong hand in the end. It's just the power that took it in the end. Guessed exactly where it was going and he was unlucky. Good fortune was there with Scott Donnelly.
Here comes Dean Howell, the left back, in his first season. Just 1 goal for Rushden since he moved from Grays. They're 1 down after the first round of penalties. What can the 26-year-old do? He can score.
Absolutely top quality penalty. He's a confident lad, and he was confident with that penalty as well. Just seeing there again, absolutely a perfect position. It takes a brave man to do that, and he proved he's one of them.
Ben Harding, who scored in a 2-1 league game here against Rushden and Diamonds. A former MK Dons player. This to restore Aldershot's lead in the shootout. A big intake of breath from Harding. But he coolly sends Roberts the wrong way.
It's another substitute who's coming and taking a penalty. This time, the substitute scores. Good penalty. Keeper's right, perfect position.
Well, here comes Andy Burgess, who's already taken 2 penalties tonight. The first of which was saved by that man, Mikel Jaimez. The second of which he scored. The psychological games are going on between the two. Which way will he go this time? 1 out of 2 so far. Here comes Burgess, and he scores again.
That's identical where he tried to pull it before when Jaimez saved it. This time Jaimez goes to the right, where it went the last time when he scored. Good penalty. Right into the side netting. It was always going to be difficult to save.
Aldershot, of course, have been here before. Ricky Newman scored in the semi-final shootout against Woking. His manager hoping he can do so again. And if he does, he'll make it 3-2 to Aldershot, which he does in emphatic fashion.
And exactly the same spot where Dean Howe put his. It's another brave play there. Good pace, good height, perfect area to put a penalty.
Curtis Woodhouse, the professional boxer. Only one player missed so far from 6 penalties. That was Andy Gooding of Rushton. What can the former Sheffield United player do here? Long runner. And he smashes that home.
Straight down the middle of that one. Didn't even bother to look at the go either side, just went for power. Always believing the keeper's going to dive. Exactly what Jaime's done.
Here comes Kirk Hudson, who scored, of course, in extra time. He scored in the semi-final shootout as well, against Dale Roberts in the Rushton goal. Just off the crossbar to keep Aldershot's 100% penalty record intact.
Well, sometimes you've got to do it with power, and he done it with power, hits the underside of the bar, comes down the back of the net. He's going to call that a good penalty. I think there was a few nervous people in the crowds.
So, Rushton need to score. Chris Hope, the captain, the 35-year-old, who's only scored once this season, the central defender, to keep the dream alive for Gary Hill's side. Mikel Jaimes in the goal, asking for the volume to be increased by the Aldershot fans. He knows when it was this situation in the semi-final, Woking missed. He knows if Hope doesn't score, the Setanta Shield goes to Aldershot. Pressure on the Rushton captain. Here comes Chris Hope. And he doesn't score. And Aldershot have won the Setanta Shield. And Mikel Jaimes is the hero again. The first of 2 possible silverware in the hands of Aldershot. They won the semi-final on penalties, and they now have their hands on the trophy, courtesy of another penalty shootout victory.
Jaime's done absolutely brilliant. Even his penalty saves have been absolutely top drawer. And be honest, looking at this game, I was a little bit worried just in the fact of Rushton coming to the penalties on a high after getting themselves back into the game. But again, they held their nerve, Aldershot. Quality penalties got